Hey guys, today we're gonna. Okay. I'm gonna
Hey
use a
guys,
villager.
welcome to my vlog.
Yes!
Welcome to my vlog.
I need to use villagers! Oh wait.
Opo!
Possibly. 18 to 100. There we go. Oh, come on! Skip ahead.
From baiting villagers with a breadcrumb trail to transforming them into your own personal army, this is every way to use villagers for fun and profit. From clever to downright evil genius. Beginning with luring the villagers.
Sorry, but I need to rewind this.
From baiting villagers for fun and profit. From clever to your own personal army, this is every way to use villagers for fun and profit. From clever to downright evil genius. Beginning with luring the villagers in. By throwing down seeds for a villager, regardless of the type, they're going to walk towards and pick it up. And this blew my mind when I first heard it. I thought it would have only worked with farmer villagers, but sure enough, there is a way to get them to follow the breadcrumb trail. With just one bed and a bell, we can gather all of our villagers like that. And it really is as simple as just placing down the bed in the middle of an area, and then you'll see them all flock towards the bed, giving you all of your villagers wrangled up, which you could then use to either convert them all into witches with a trident, or convert them all into zombies with this method here. Whatever the point is, I'll let you decide. But now at least you'll know how to gather up the rapscallions. To make sure our villagers are safe when they're doing our bidding, we have to defend against raids. And the easiest way to do that is to take a pillager mob that might have spawned from a patrol, tuck it into a prison and give it a name tag, so that then, whenever you walk by with the bad omen effect, the raid's never actually going to start, because it thinks that Larry over here is the only raider that it should be sending. And then after a few days in-game, the raid will end, and your base will be completely fine. All without having to worry about things like evokers or ravagers ever too. And if it means I have to enslave one pillager so that I can keep enslaving my villagers, that's fine by me. Here's how to use one villager to get ourselves infinite emeralds. Since this raise work shows off in this video, if we get ourselves a librarian villager and then train it up to be an apprentice, then...
Whoa, wait, I'm writing notes. Villagers.
After a few mishaps with a zombie, we're able to drive its prices so low so that we're able to buy a bookshelf for 1 emerald, and then, here's the key, we can sell a book back for it for an emerald. And obviously, every time that you buy a bookshelf, you break it to get 3 books, and then sell it back for 3 emeralds, meaning 3 more bookshelves, and the cycle repeats. Which is obviously very lucrative, but keep in mind, I'd only suggest doing this on hard mode, since in the other difficulties, it's not a guarantee that you can zombify the villager. And nothing's gonna be worse than putting in all this work just to have your villager die on the spot. Workplace hazard, I guess. And while zombifying the villagers to do this might be a slow process, all it takes is 1 drown mob to speed that right up. Since this user on Reddit shows, if we were to get a drown mob with a trident into this system, throw the trident at us, and that trident will catch on fire, which we can then use to ignite a piece in TNT, and that cause all these villagers down here to die on the spot, and coincidentally, all turn into zombies. And while we've shown off in the past using a similar version of this to make a record farm, I think this design ends up being a lot more practical, but also a lot more cruel, so maybe check your morals at the door. And after converting those villagers a few times, we're able to use this trick with an armor to get a full set of enchanted diamond armor for only 4 emeralds, which normally costs way less than the 24 diamonds we need otherwise, including an extra 2 for the enchantment table, but we also have other tricks to make our emeralds completely renewable, and at that point, this is a no-brainer. Even if the armor is never going to give you treasure enchantments like Mending or Swift Sneak, those are easy enough to add with an anvil. I mean, you'll have plenty of levels from trading with the villagers, so it's free in more ways than one. Not only can we use that armor for ourselves, but we can also use it on our villagers, since even though you can't see it, if you use a dispenser to shoot armor at a villager, it'll actually equip it into their secret inventory. And make no mistake, even if you can't see it, they are definitely wearing it. It'll take way longer to kill, and they can even use the Thorns enchantment as well. So if you've got an amazing villager that you're trying to keep safe from your zombies, this is definitely a useful trick to keep them alive. Or if you're looking for more live entertainment, you can give a villager Frostwalker and send it out into the ocean. How do you make an automatic crop farm? I'll give you a hint, it doesn't involve redstone, but instead the only secret here is a couple of farmer villagers to do your work. Since, as you can see in this design, we have a couple of farmer villagers maintaining to our crops, then once they collect the harvest, they go and try to throw those items towards another villager. And usually this would help them enter love mode, but the way that we have it set it up, love's not an issue. Which sounds cruel, but it's better than keeping them well bred, so I have no issues with that. Trading with villagers is great until they start to lock away those traits. We're actually able to solve that through the help of portals. Now in current versions, this only works with end gateway portals, but building a design like this, it's possible to start a trade with the villager and Then, once we get pushed through the end gateway, we'll still be trading with that same villager, meaning we can do our trades and it won't even lock. And from there, we're able to max out as much trading as we want to do without ever having the villager actually cut us off, since when we go back through the portal, it'll be like nothing ever happened. Having villagers in your trading hall is a great idea, but keeping those villagers in your trading hall is easier said than done. So to make sure they're stuck in place for their whole shift, what you could always do is tuck a few of these honey blocks underneath their feet. Since the way these work, they prevent both us and the villagers from jumping off of them. So if we make it impossible for them to walk off of the honey block, they'll never jump out of place. Meaning that we don't need to keep them in a disgustingly low ceiling just to stop them from leaving. Which looks a lot better and keeps your trading hall from turning into a peanut gallery. And villagers aren't only good for us when they're alive, but as it turns out, if you were to trade with a villager first and then convert it into a zombie villager, because we have progress with its trade, it will never despawn. But unlike a name tag, this will actually count towards the mob cap. Meaning that if you repeat this process with a couple dozen villagers, we'll have ourselves a fully functional mob switch, which when it's turned on, will keep all other hostile mobs from spawning in our world. So if you got a couple of villagers with useless trades, you can at least take some solace in knowing that they're not going to be useless forever. At least not with this design. Villagers aren't only good for trades, but they're also good for storage. And while what they're able to stock is limited, being only crops and bone meal, it is true that when you want to get the items back out of the storage villager, it's as simple as exposing them to another villager that they can then share the food with. Or at least try to share the food with. Obviously, we intercept it. So if you're running low on shulker boxes, this might be another option for you. If your village ever were to get stormed by a couple zombies at night, install this and they'll be safe until the morning. Since just an observer or pressure plate coming out of our bed, we make it so that when we wake up, a bell will ring, and that'll warn the other villagers to stay inside while the zombies are burning out there. Which is a lot better than the alternative of having your villagers open up the door, only to get killed by a zombie on its last legs. Besides, there's already a bell in the village, this is at least a better use for it. By stacking up 20 or so villagers into a hole like this, we can make it so that when we fall inside of the hole as well, we can jump with our elytra and use all of the combined force of their pushes to launch ourselves sky high. And there you go. You've got an entity launcher that doesn't use any rockets, making this not only hilarious, but also quite effective. But take warning, if you want to build this, make sure that there's less than 24 villagers in the hole. Otherwise, you might run into the entity cramming limit, and then this design won't take you up to the skies, it'll take you up to heaven. Let's be honest, with the way that we're treating the villagers, we're probably going south of the pearly gates. With just a boat and a villager, we can make our minecarts move so much faster. And the best part, we do it all without powered rails. Since strange as it may seem, if you get a boat inside of the minecart and then a villager inside of that boat, we can sit in the pilot seat and have that passenger villager pedal its legs so that we're going even faster. Which if you need a way to move villagers around your world, this could come in handy. Or better yet, move one of these villager contraptions into the nether, and then you've got yourself a motor that works better than a furnace minecart. Hard to complain with that. And when you finally get sick of trading with your villagers, and then with the help of this data pack, we're able to make it so that if you tuck a hopper underneath a villager's bed, then when they sleep, their items just pour into the chest, which finally gives you a good reason for not sleeping in the village at night, proving ultimately that when they snooze, they lose, and the rest will be our game. If you're sick of just killing wandering traders, then here's a way to make them actually useful. Since by taking a name tag and changing it to the name of a specific biome type, we're able to change that wandering trader into a villager of our choice, which can be immediately useful if you don't have villagers coming to you any other way. At least now, we don't have to just outright kill the wandering trader to get some leads. In the past, that was really all they were good for. Villagers have witches to heal them, and now we have clerics. Since with this data pack, the cleric villagers will now heal all nearby players, villagers, and even iron golems, which makes a lot more sense. At least they're using that brewing stand for something. And if you're not yet equipped for a full beacon, then you could always trap a few of these clerics in cages, and now you got yourself a healing station. I mean, they have a range of the spell of up to 20 blocks, making them pretty substantial, if not a little overpowered. Villagers do a lot of trades, but they pay a lot of taxes. And now, with just a name tag, we can change their name to taxable subject, and start to get paid back some of that real estate tax. And the better yet is that the higher the skill level of the villager, the more rent they'll pay back. So while a novice villager will only pay 1 emerald a day for living on your land, if you get them up to a master, then you're earning 5 emeralds a day. But be careful, because all it takes is the villager getting slightly hurt, and then they're not going to pay you any more taxes because they got to cover their health care. But if you have a splash potion of healing, you can bring them right back up and start earning your profits just like you were. This villager might look like it's in danger, but don't worry. Since by just typing out this command with this data pack, we're able to summon villagers with no profession that we're able to use in stasis for decoration, which could mean building a system like this. But hey, the villager didn't have a profession anyway, so at the very least, this is a way to make a living. And besides, it's better than using one of our actually worthwhile villagers to build one of these setups. Did you know villagers are scared of sponges? Because apparently, now they are. Since with this user's data pack, we're able to make it so that dry and wet sponges can scare our villagers, which could be useful to keep certain areas off limits. Otherwise, they might wander in and find something a lot scarier on the other side. By crafting together a netherite ingot and an anvil, we're able to get ourselves a new workstation for our villagers. And this is one of the many different upgrades we're able to do to our workstations, which, when we use them, now allows us to make our villagers even more powerful. So if we're good trading with your armor for diamond armor, you can get netherite. Or with 8 string around a barrel, we can now make our fishermen sell us enchanted tridents. And if we zombify them using the methods we saw before, then they'll be even more powerful and basically free. Here's how to turn your villagers into a fully functional army. First, you're going to need to craft some white banners. And then, after placing one of the white banners into your offhand, that'll immediately summon an army of 20 villagers to fight for you, as well as putting a banner on your own head so you don't get confused. But be careful, because by taking that banner off, you're just going to disband the army. And then, by putting your other white banner into either your 7th, 8th, or 9th slot in your hotbar, you're able to choose the formation that the villagers take, at which point we can use them to attack against the raids that are coming towards us, or even to fight our friends. So even though Mojang refuses to add in villager knights, I think this more than does the trick in the base game. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video, so see if they're right and have a good one, alright?
Okay. Well, that's unfortunately that the video's over. Get out of here.